Alright, guys, sad times. I like to suppress everything I own, and I thought I was actually rather close to finally being able to get to go ahead and do that. But what you can see here is I actually have the manufacturer's original muzzle device back on there, as I finally did find a Delta P precision adapter. Also found an increased volume gas plug, but my issue is that it just wasn't concentric. Went ahead and also removed the Delta P, checked concentricity of the actual rifle itself, with and without the actual front sight compensator here, and perfect concentricity as far as the rifle in itself and with the OEM actual muzzle device up there. I'll show you guys a photo of that now. So all in all, I thought the actual Delta P design adapter was rather easy to actually install. As far as removal of the manufacturer one, I would consider my rifle actually still rather new, and I've only gotten like 200-300 rounds through it so far prior to the actual removal and installation of this new adapter. I did not buy any specialty tools, use a socket for removing the gas plug. Don't remember what size it was. I'll put the dimensions right down here. And then actually upon the removal of the actual gas plug, the front sight compensator just kind of twisted on me. It was like, sweet, didn't have to even break it free. I was extremely lucky in that effect and everything. Went ahead and installed the Delta P, and thankfully at the same time I bought the Delta P, I also bought a couple concentricity rods. Otherwise, I would have definitely had a baffle strike. I was going to go straight into doing a bunch of testing, and I was going to start out with my Surefire 762 RC2. Would most likely had a baffle strike with how bad the actual concentricity was and everything. I think I have a photo of it. Might not be the best one as the angle of the camera I had that I took for it, but I'll go ahead and show you guys a picture of that now. So thanks to having the concentricity rods, I was able to save any possible damage to my silencer, as I quickly found that it just wasn't going to work out and everything. Went ahead and removed the silencer, and then went ahead and checked on the muzzle device, which I was using the Surefire's war comp and everything. I did not check that prior to putting on the silencer, and that was also non-concentric. Like, right, maybe it's just the actual Surefire muzzle device. Remove that and put on a dead air muzzle device. Don't remember which one first. Checked immediately on that. I was like, crap, man, that thing is off. Put on a different dead air muzzle device, as I have a flash hider and a muzzle brake for the 5/8 by 24. Both of them were just not concentric whatsoever. With the small section of the muzzle devices, I wanted to see just how bad it was, so I went ahead and put on my dead air M1A. And it was just completely obvious with the 3 different muzzle devices I tried, as well as the 2 different silencers I tried, that just wasn't going to work. For the most part, all my silencers are 30 caliber, and with just how bad the actual lack of concentricity was, most likely would have encountered an actual baffle strike. I do have one silencer that is slightly overboard, which is the Dead Air Wolverine, the PBS one. But that sucker's heavy, and the M1A is heavy. I just didn't even bother with it. Went ahead after a few comments in a YouTube post and Instagram post, and some people were talking about lapping, not concentric with the front side. I don't know, a couple different actual people of concern trying to help me out and everything. And as far as the front sight is concerned, it's a 2-piece design and everything. So as far as the front sight, it's definitely not that it's butting up against the front sight, as your front sight will be here, and it actually butts up against the adapter and everything. Another person had mentioned that, didn't really mention what side of the adapter, but he mentioned lapping it and everything. So I went ahead, here's just a visual, 2 pieces here and everything, and reached out to my local gunsmith and asked him, like, hey, could you actually make this adapter concentric? Whatever's necessary, could you do it? Sample size of 1, he just told me straight up no, that there was nothing that he could do and everything. And I reached out to any other machinist, gunsmith, anything like that, see if there's something they could do. But just got a straight up no and everything. Just extremely felt defeated and everything. So at this point right now, this is a negative review on Delta P Designs adapter to suppress your M1A, the SOCOM 16 or tanker model, such as one of the two there that I have. And the funny thing is, not so funny. This thing is expensive. It was $249. Luckily, I was currently working at a store up in Alaska where I found this thing and got it at like $200 or something. Oddly enough, they do have a second one. I'm no longer up there in Alaska, so man, I do kind of really want to pick up that second one, as they're extremely difficult to come across, as the company is no longer in business, and the company who bought them out. I actually emailed them. I had contacted them 2 different ways and still have yet not received any return contact, and that was something like 3 weeks ago. But I don't know. I may return to this one day if that one's still up there in, that's Arctic Ammo there in Wasilla, Alaska. And if you call and ask them about it, man, when I found it, no one on the floor knew exactly what the heck that thing was. I'm sure there is somebody who might know who it is, and if it is, it's probably Dylan, because I know he has a suppressed M1A. But maybe one day I might pick that one up, just have buy that, see if they can't ship it to me, or have my son up there buy it and ship it down to me. Or maybe one day you'll see this exact one again. Maybe I'll just buy a large overboard can. It's not overboard, 46 caliber can. Maybe a hybrid 46M and just run it in a shortened configuration or something of that nature. But at this moment, I will not be suppressing my M1A. There goes my hopes of having somewhat of a cloner of Daylight's End M14 that he had suppressed in that movie, which I thought was freaking amazing. But gonna leave it there, and hopefully one day you guys might see me with my M1A suppressed. All right, you guys, thanks. Have a good day.